Hello everyone, this is your friend Kim at the Abundant Life Tarot, and I wanted to talk about the topic of knowing when it's time to let something go and understanding why it's important to let go earlier in a process versus later, but then also to forgive yourself if you need to hold on for dear life. So it's an interesting topic that I decided to touch upon, and I'll give you the backstory of what spawned it for me. So many of you know I have a long career in insurance, and it's been very fruitful for me. I mean, I have made a lot of money while I worked in insurance. And I didn't sell it. I mean, I sold insurance briefly in the beginning of my career, but it was mostly on the claim side of things. So I have reached a point, though, where I feel like there's some stagnant energy going on. And I just had initially, a while back, made the decision that I would just ride it out until I figured out, which I magically figured out, what it is I'm going to do with my life. What next I'm going to do. You know, the first 20 years of my real working career went to insurance. What does the next 20, 25, 30 years go now? Where are we going here? And so when I started asking myself, what is it that I really want from my life, I realized that I had long since fallen out of alignment with the corporate ladder life, and that it's time to maybe consider letting go. And I railed against the thought. At first I was like, no, Kim, that's foolish. You shouldn't be thinking about letting go. What are you thinking? What you have here is safe, secure, you know, but is it really safe and secure? More on that later, on why I figured out it is not as safe and secure for me. Well, I guess I could just tell you now, you know, a lot of insurance companies particularly, and not just insurance, banking too, I've heard about it. Not every industry can do this, but insurance and banking has the ability to leave the state of California and go do their business, even if they're handling business claims or business banking accounts in California. They can do it from another state and save money because it's very costly to do business in California, to do business in California, to live really in California. So a lot of them are leaving, and there's still a need for certain kinds of insurance, like workers' compensation, or, you know, there's all other kinds that I could explore, but my heart isn't in it. It's time for me to move on. But again, I railed against it, and then finally one day something like clicked inside of me. I'm like, no, and I know what it is. I need to let go. All these physical ailments that I was starting to have, mysterious weight loss, just upset stomach and anxiety all the time that back in the day I just didn't really have. And now I just have this generalized anxiety, and I can't put my finger on it. And I just, every day I'm in my day job, and I'm like, it's just, I don't feel connected at all to the work I'm doing. I feel depleted when I get home. But what's been frustrating, and I'm sharing this with you for a number of reasons. So you can, first of all, understand if you see that I'm absent, it's not because I don't want to be, it's because my full-time career is taking over. That's not going to be much longer. I've made a decision to retire from insurance, and I'm looking forward to it because I just feel like I'm not able to give in the way I want to give the industry anymore. Like maybe I would be best served in a consulting capacity now, and I feel comfortable with that now. So I'm seeing how things are shifting. Things are shifting in my life with my children. My older kids are moving on and moving out, and I have to look at that too. So it's like things are shifting and changing. So where do I fit in all that? And for why I'm talking to you about is for the longest time I was holding on for years, knowing that other companies I've worked for have been trying to move out of the state, and now the company I work for now, they may not be moving right at this moment, but there's just writings on the wall. And I am just like, I really think it's just time for me to move on. Take a break, recalibrate, and find the next, maybe work in the public sector. But to get to this point, to even get to this point was challenging. And I want you to look at a situation in your life, maybe not a work-life situation, like a work matter, but maybe a love-life situation that you've been dealing with. Or maybe a friendship or something else. What in your life is kind of similar? And think about, are you holding on because there's something still left to be holding on to? Or are you holding on out of fear of the unknown, of letting go for something, to allow something bigger and better to come through? And for me, I answered that question with my work situation. It was like, once I asked that, what is this? Is there something still left here? Or am I just afraid? And it turned out I was just afraid. I'm afraid of not having the means to take care of my kids. I'm afraid of losing my house. I'm afraid of all that I work for is going to be gone. I'm afraid of change. I'm afraid of the comfortable life that I built out of this career with insurance. Now, am I going to be okay with being a little uncomfortable with things tightening up because I now don't have that steady income coming in, that steady, nice income coming in? But is the change worth the sacrifice? And I got a resounding yes. Is the change worth the sacrifice of letting go of this thing in your life? And that's what you asked. And I got a resounding yes to that. It was the sacrifice. I started thinking about my benefits. How else can we get insurance? Okay, we could go through my husband's insurance, or we can go through Covered California. Hallelujah for my very liberal state for having coverage for folks. Lord knows I pay a lot in taxes. I feel like I should be able to partake in something. And I started kind of looking at the fears that I had and looking at, okay, well, how much do I have in savings? How much, am I making from my side business, which I'm hoping to grow more and more? And could I live comfortably if I'm not paying a lot of money in gas for commute and car maintenance? If I'm like also maybe watching how we eat, we don't have the luxury anymore to eat out every night. Because mama and daddy are both working, but now, mama's just working on her business and her projects, and dad, it's like things are going to change. There's going to be a sacrifice. Is it worth it? Yes. If you're in a love situation, is the sacrifice of not talking to them anymore worth it? If it means that you may be able to let go to allow for something bigger and better to come through, or even just letting go to signal to that person who maybe has not been reciprocating loving things towards you, or loving energy or vibes, maybe it's time for them to miss you. And so that break is what's needed, and that letting go is what's needed for the situation. Even if they come back later, even there is a very strong chance that I may get out in the world, try to do my tarot business thing, or try to do some consulting, or do something this or that here or there, and it doesn't sing to me. Maybe I'm like meant to be working in a cubicle 40 plus hours a week every week for the rest of my life. Maybe that's what it's supposed to be. I doubt it in my soul, but maybe that's what it is. I can go back. I'm young enough to go back. I can go back. I have 20 years of experience to fall back on. I have a business degree. I have, I'm pretty resourceful, and I have a lot of connects and network, expansive network. So I live and work in the state capitol. So there's tons of like governmental jobs that are right in my backyard if I want to explore the public sector. So I'm not really concerned about that. And as I started to really work through, what am I fearful of? Why am I really fearful? What is scaring me about this change? And could there be something to answer to that? And there was an answer to everything. But for so long, I would just tell myself, no, I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready to move on. Move out of the way, Bish. I'm not ready to move on. I'm not ready to change or whatever. I'm just going to stick it out and see what happens. I'll be sticking out till I'm 45, 50, 55, 60. Next thing you know, I did this whole life of a job that just was not for me. Or some people who I've been in a relationship way longer than that relationship should have gone because of fear. And once I let go, did the Prince Charming roll right in as soon as I let that person go? No, Prince Charming didn't. Actually, quite a few toads rolled through. But I enjoyed those dating experiences. Some of them were like kind of scary, and I'm like, oh God, that's kind of scary. But for the most part, I enjoyed it. It made me the woman I am. And it made me ready for love when I finally reconnected with my husband. Because we've known each other for 92, but we lost contact in 1996. And then in 2006, we reconnected. And so, but by me letting go of that long-term but relationship that had grown, that we had grown apart, we were two different people. Once I let that go, more loving opportunities came to me, and more opportunities to date or to be with guys who really wanted to try to have a go with me versus trying to make a go with someone who's just not really that into me. And when that clicked, dating became fun. Like the moment I could feel like, ooh, I don't think he's really that into me, it was easier for me to turn off the love for them because I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna waste my energy or time. And that worked out for me. But there was a time I was wasting some energy and time because of fear. And I did end up, after my ex, the father of my boys, I was trying to date a guy for a while, and the love was just not really reciprocated, but I loved him so much and I wanted so badly for it to work, and it didn't, and it wasn't meant to. I mean, granted, I ended up moving on. Me and him broke up, this guy and he contacted me a few years later, number of years later. It was surprising. And he said, I made a mistake. I realize that now. And I'm like, oh, I'm pregnant, like really pregnant. Like, think about to have a baby next month. And I'm like, I really appreciate you contacting me, but I moved on. So it could be something like that. So I just want to pop on here because part of the Abundant Life Tarot experience, the Abundant Life Tarot Premium experience, is me kind of imparting some of my own little bits of knowledge and experience to you. So maybe you can hear something that might inspire you about your life, in your life, and maybe it might help you on your journey. So that's it. This wasn't meant to be a super long video. It's just I felt the need to come on here and talk about when it's time to let go of something or someone, and you go through all these emotions, and you will go through grieving moments, right? I'm going through the they call it the different stages of grieving my career, my insurance career. I'm going through uncertainty, scared, fear, anger, why do I need to give up now? Why is everyone leaving the state? Why can't they stay? I'm staying. Why can't they? Well, it doesn't work that way, and so I felt like it's important that I felt that since I'm a vlogger, that it's important that I vlog about the big experiences in my life and share that with you guys. Now, with that being said, I'm probably going to post this, and I don't know when exactly, but either I would have posted this and you will hear me making a very big announcement about my insurance career, or this is pre that and you're gonna hear an announcement, or you will watch this and I would have made the announcement. But really the video was because I'm going through these different changes, and I've come to some big realizations about my life. And sometimes it just takes a moment of having a hanged man moment, and the hangman came and was like, you need to have a new perspective about how you're looking at your insurance career. And it served its purpose. You're a single mom. You needed a lucrative job to take care of you and your kids while you were raising you and your boys. And now, you know, maybe it's time to find a career that's more suited to you. And insurance I gravitated to because it deals with law, it deals with fairness, it deals with, you know, evaluating, investigating, evaluating. It deals with contract law, which I find fascinating, believe it or not, which I found out it kind of, what I was doing when I was a claims adjuster, it kind of reminds me of tarot reading, where you take a claim rolls in and you have to see how coverage applies and see if the claim can be covered, and then you help people work through that. So that's why it sung to me for so many years, and why I was so successful probably at it. And it turned out that I didn't even realize I was probably using some of my psychic abilities to settle claims, and didn't even realize that's what was going on. That's probably why I was so successful. But now I'm bored, and now it's time to move on, and it's time to move on in a way that feels empowering. And I already feel super good about this decision. So I invite you to look at something in your life where you've been holding on, and you need to ask yourself honestly, why are you holding on to this? If you come back with some cool answers, and actually write them down. I actually wrote down in a steno pad, and I was just writing why I was ready to let go, and why should I stay. And the list for why I should let go was super long compared to the list to why I should stay. Way long. Like, it was like 6 lines, 5 or 6 lines for the stay, and like pages. I should go. So, and use the tarot. If you obviously are at Abundant Life Tarot because you like tarot. Use your cards, use your oracle, ask for guidance. If you're with the Cosmic Seers group, let this be one of your topics that we work on in the month of, whatever, like July. Let that be, or whenever we work together. And each month we do our monthly 30-minute reading I do for you. And you're like, I want to know, what is it that I need to let go of? And what's on the other side of that? And what am I really fearing? And help me work through that. Or maybe you already know what it is you need to let go of, and you want to kind of navigate how to work through that. Either book a reading with me. You don't have to do the Cosmic Seers level, although I have a Cosmic Seer group, and they get their readings. They plop in their requests each month on what they want to focus on in their tarot reading. I do the tarot reading, do it video style. They get it, and we discuss it, and it's that monthly tarot coaching thing. And it's insightful. But many times I just have clients who will book through my Etsy store or my Abundant Life Tarot website and just say, I feel like I need to let this go, but I don't know how, and I don't know why I'm struggling with this. Can you help me with this? And we throw some cards down, and we get to the bottom of things, and then change can start to happen. Fear can start to loosen. Fear is a protection, right? Fear, the symptoms of fear. I don't even want to call them symptoms, but you know the markings of fear. Your gut gets kind of like, you get a tightness in your gut. Some of us get sweaty, some of us get cold, some of us get nervous, get anxious, some of us can't sleep at night, we can't eat, we can't think, we can't concentrate. We sometimes even push whatever that we fear out of our minds. But when we take a moment to just say, it's just a fear. It's not here. It's not ready to stab me in the chest. It's a fear, and I need to look at what it is, analyze it, and put it in its proper place. Is there a legitimate reason why I should be feeling all these feelings and going through these physiological changes? Is there a reason for that? Or is that just my body just it's so used to trying to protect me, my ego's trying to protect me, that it just, Bishop, how am I going to play fetch if you don't let go? You won't let go. So we can play the game. Perfect timing, right? So it's just like letting go. It's super important because those physiological changes, sometimes they're there for a reason, right? We need to be fearful. We need to run. We need to get out of a situation, get out of it quick, fast, in a hurry, right now. Oftentimes we don't. These are stale fears, fears that lurk around. There are mothers' voices where they say, girl, you better keep that good paying job because you don't know if you're going to get another one. Or, you know, you're not getting any younger. You may want to just stick that out, stick in that relationship. You know this person. You know, it's like, I think there's more to life than just settling. For me. Now, maybe for some folks, they're like, they still got to work through that fear. But for me, I'm moving forward. And I'm going to let go and allow what needs to now really come fully into my life, to be birthed into my life. I'm going to allow that to come on in and live for a while. And I'm going to let go what needs to I'm going to lovingly let go what needs to let go. And I'm going to do it now. I'm not going to wait. I'm going to do it now. I'm going to make the changes now. I'm going to make the decision to not be fearful. Everything that I fear about a change, whether it's like, oh, I want to move across the country. And I get all like, oh, my stomach's starting to hurt, or my head hurts when I think about that, or what does that mean? Oh, I don't want to think about it. No, think about it. Look at why you're feeling that way. So, guys, that's it. That's all I wanted to talk about today. And, yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. And like I said, work with me. I'm here for you. As I also make my transition to let go of something big and significant in my life, to make room for more creativity and projects and freedom, I'm going to have more time for you guys. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about being able to help people on their journey, because that means so much to me. Helping one person at a time, if that's all that it is, that's enough for me. So, yeah, that's it. So let me know what you're thinking about this topic. Yeah, much love, many blessings.